You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. Well, there's Pa Dozen and Unky sitting on the back porch talking. Pa's saying,
You know, Unky, women are the limit. Always complaining about how hard they work, cooking, cleaning, shopping.
Well, Pa, one thing Ma don't complain about anymore, and that's washing clothes. Not since she's using Does.
You're right, Unky. Us men ought to be thankful this new soap discovery came along. Why, Ma used to carry on about wash day something fierce. Now she brags about how wonderful it is to have Does do everything. Our work clothes and the towels to our prettiest rayon do funnies.
Yep. Say, remember the day I worked on the car and got my overalls so dirty? Oh, Ma was furious. Unky doesn't, she said. Look at that dirt. How you expect me to get them overalls clean?
Yep, she sure tied into you.
Yeah, but now when she sees my greasy overalls, she just smiles and says, Does'll do 'em easy. Why, she doesn't even need a bar soap anymore, 'cause Does gets rid of dirt all by itself. She says no soap does it easier.
That's right. And remember how Ma used to fuss at me for getting the towels so black?
Gosh, yes. She used to complain about what a hard time she had getting them white. Now she tells all the neighbors how easy it is to turn them out snowy white with Does.
Yep. I heard her say she's never seen whiter washes.
Yeah, and remember how she hated to trust her old wash day soap with the pretty rayon doodad she washes?
Sure. Now Ma says those fancy colors are actually safer with Does. Yet it gets after dirt like nobody's business.
Yeah, it does sure change Ma's tune about wash day. It's left her with nothing to complain about.
well, Does does everything, you know. Why, it's the only leading granulated wash day soap that gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the dirtiest clothes. Better change to Does, D-U-Z. It does everything in your wash. And now the Goldbergs. Molly and Jake now know the whole story of Grace and George's efforts to swindle them. While Grace has been resting upstairs after their car crashed into the tree, George has come clean with the truth, and it isn't nice. But it seems that these two are not alone in their heartlessness, for Bruce is at the Goldbergs now, deep in a discussion of a story he had read in the papers about people swindling soldiers' relatives. Faced with this story and asked what he thought of such cruelty, George could say nothing. Now Molly and Jake are the judges, and George is waiting to hear the verdict of his future. Listen.
I'm fixing some tea, gentlemen. Just don't be in a hurry, Bruce. If you're visiting me, visit.
Ma, don't start fixing tea now. Papa wants Bruce to leave so we can call the police and have George arrested right away.
What's Papa's hurry, what?
Well, why shouldn't he be in a hurry?
Rosalie, please, let me sit down. One little minute to let me think. Let me take my mind together a minute,
Ma.
please. To think, Rosalie, how I was bamboozled, how they planned and how they schemed and both together. You, Rosalie, only you, Rosalie, knew something was from the beginning, you knew. Not me. Not me. I was blind like an ostrich I was. Whatever you told me, I found a reason. For everything, I found a reason. Take down the cookies.
Ma, don't serve anything now. Papa wants to call Mr. Newton.
There's time with the constable yet. There's plenty
Ma,
of time.
don't start.
Bruce, you wish cream or lemon?
Oh, lemon.
Lemon? I want Bruce to stay here. I want Bruce to say more what he would do with people that did what they did to us. I want Bruce to say more. Did you see George's face, how he was white like milk? Did you see? I want Bruce. Maybe he'll see what he did when he hears it from somebody else's mouth. Go ask George his preference.
I won't, Ma.
George, cream or lemon?
I don't want anything, thank you.
Ma, why?
Don't mommy. Let only Mama alone. Let Mama only take her brains together a minute. Only let Mama take her brains together. Take in the sugar. Put little napkins.
It's a fine time for a tea party. The more I think of what Grace and George did...
Here's the cream.
Molly, put an end to this sociable.
Jake,
I
please.
want Grace and George where they belong.
Please.
Hey, why can't we have our tea right here in this kitchen? Come on, George. You don't mind having your tea in the kitchen?
George.
Well, I think I'll...
No, don't go, George. Come in. Come. Please, sit down, George.
I don't...
Sit. Right here. You're not in the way. You're not interrupting. We want you, darling. We want you. Here, by me, I want you. And Bruce, you here.
Say, where you going to sit, Rosie?
I'll sit right here.
Then I'm sitting right alongside of you. I hope you don't mind, George. I saw the both of you in the movies not so long ago. I couldn't see whether you were holding hands or not. You be careful, Rosie. You never can tell who you're taking up with nowadays.
Pass the sugar, Jake.
Where are you from, George?
Oh, George is from where my family was at camp before he went over the seas.
Oh, you don't say.
Yes.
That's quite a coincidence.
That's what we thought.
If you don't like tea, George, shall I spill you some milk?
No. No, thank you.
Why don't you sit down, Mrs. Goldberg? Say you're just like Mary, always watching over the brood before you take a crumb in your own mouth. Now you come and sit yourself down right beside me.
Thank you, Bruce.
I've got no more right sitting here and chewing the cud than
Yes,
Adam's.
chewing and chewing, Bruce. And we was talking about something most interesting. We were talking about what you read in the paper about. What shall I say they are? Bad people we were talking, and that...
There's only one thing to do with crooks.
Oh,
Well-
yes. Yes, the crooks. Yes, sir, folks. If you're asking me what I'd do with a couple of crooks like that, I'll tell you. I'd put them up against a wall and shoot them just like they were traitors.
You heard that, George? Traitors.
Yes, traitors, because that's what they are, traitors. Going around and making people feel so bad they can't keep their hearts in the war.
I would turn them over to the law and let the law do with them what it would.
Maybe there's another way. What do you think, George? The telephone, Rosalie?
Yes, Mom.
Well, I guess I'd better be going along.
What's your hurry, Bruce? You didn't eat none of mine cookies even.
Oh.
You have time. Mary said she was shopping. I want you to see mine tomatoes.
Yeah, I will.
Mrs. Hanley's on the phone.
For me?
No, it's for you, Bruce.
Oh, your wife.
Thanks. Well, George, what do you say? Can I count on you to help me out for a while?
Well, I...
Here, Bruce.
Thanks, Rosie.
Well, George, I'm glad you heard what Bruce said. Shooting was too good for people like you. But I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to turn you over to the law.
That's all right. It's okay with me. But just blame me. Let me be the one and leave Grace out of this.
Say, Mary's coming over.
Oh, yes?
She wants to see how your daughter-in-law's feeling. Now, I wasn't supposed to tell you, but she's made the prettiest baby's outfit you ever saw. She didn't know whether to make it in pink or blue, so she just combined the two colors, pink and blue, right smack together. Well, is your daughter-in-law well enough to have some company?
Well,
I don't want to go up. She can't be seeing anyone.
Why not, Molly?
Rosalie, go up to Grace with Bruce.
She's a delicate little thing, isn't she?
Yes, she's very delicate, yes. Rosalie.
I'm going, Mom.
Say, Rosie, how's it going to feel being an aunt? Supposing they're twins twice over.
Now get me Constable Newton.
Jake, please.
I'll call him if you want me to. I'll walk over and give myself up.
And you expect me to believe that, huh? Are you calling, Molly, or am I calling?
Jake, I just want to...
Excuse me.
George,
Constable Newton, please.
That's all right. I've got it coming to me.
This is Mr. Goldberg. Is the constable in, please?
I don't want Grace in on this. She's not in any condition to be in on this. It was my fault. I should have been the one to stop her.
Tell him when he comes in to call me back. Thank you.
Jake.
Can you find any reason why I shouldn't do what I'm doing?
No. No, there's no reason why you shouldn't do what you're doing. I came here to steal and get what didn't belong to me. It's an easy thing to understand. And it's an easy thing for you to call the law in on. The real crime we committed, we can't be punished for. You can't do anything about that. No one can. Only we can. And I guess it's too late now. Too much water has gone under the bridge. I'm only asking you to let her go. Let her get out of it. Because she's more than herself now. I'm only asking you one thing, Mr. Goldberg. Only one thing. And I'm asking you, not because Grace deserves any better treatment than I do, but If you punish her, you'll be punishing an innocent person. You'll be punishing the child that isn't born yet. Oh, I don't care what you do with me. I've wasted so much of my life, I guess it doesn't matter if I spend a lot of my time behind bars now. Wouldn't be any lonelier, more frightening than what I've been doing up to now anyway.
Oh, gee, she's a pretty little woman. No more than a baby herself. And you should have seen her cry when I told her about the baby set Mary made up for her. Go on up and see if you can cheer her up a little.
Go up, Molly.
Do you want to come up, George?
No, thanks.
Excuse me.
Maybe you should just leave her alone and rest?
I won't say anything to disturb her.
The telephone?
I'll take it.
Oh, say, if it's Mary again, tell her to hurry along. I haven't got all day.
I will. Hello? Yes? Yes. All right. Thank you.
Who is it, Molly?
He's on his way.
Are you expecting company?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I guess I better go on then. When I get to talking, there's no stopping me. When Mary comes, you tell her I'll pick her up. And George, you can tell my wife you decide to come over and help me for a spell.
Well, thanks, Bruce, but the Goldbergs have other plans for me.
Well, if we know Molly, her intentions toward George and Grace can't be the same as Jake's. But Jake is acting, and Molly is still paralyzed by the story which we still haven't heard in all its profound wickedness. You know, sometimes it helps to try and forget our troubles and find something to laugh about. That's why I like that flutterhead Cousin Does'em. She always gives me a laugh. You take yesterday, Cousin Does'em said...
Look, I bought a new hat, and I owe it all to Duz.
To Duz?
Mm-hmm. I went to the store to get some Duz, and I saw this perfectly adorable hat in the shop next door, and I bought it. You see, Duz really does everything.
Well, Duz does everything in the wash. Why, this new kind of soap does work clothes, towels, to rayon undies. Honestly, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Duz gives longer life to the delicate colors you wash, plus unsurpassed whiteness for towels and real cleaning power for grimy work shirts. Even in the toughest wash, Duz does everything. And remember, these are wartime wash days. Don't waste Duz. All soap contains vital war materials. So save your dirty clothes and wash several loads in the same Duz suds. See to it every bit of Duz you use does more. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs. Molly listens to a story of another world, and the constable comes knocking on the door. This is Clayton Collier speaking for Procter & Gamble and saying, do as the Dozems do. Let Duz, the new kind of soap, do everything in your wash.